Absolutely not. It's worse. It's very very bad. That's the fact. Prices of things are outrageous. A common man cannot feed. We all know that it's very very bad, and we keep blaming the government. But at a point, I think we all have to accept personal responsibility. Very different. We all know things were a lot cheaper, or should I say, things are more expensive right now than they were. But I wouldn't say that directly reflects on the standard of living, because that's a personal thing. Things might be more expensive, but that doesn't mean that people are not making headway in Nigeria. As bad as things are, people are still managing to make ends meet. So, standard of living is relative.
Uh, 5 years ago, it's bad, but let me say now it's badder or baddest. You understand? The thing is, like 5 years ago, you can still buy rice, I think, for more than 500 naira, but now it's 1,200 naira to buy. So the difference is so much.
5 years ago, the cost of living was better and cheaper than the cost of living today. There are so many rise on the prices of goods and services today than it was some 5 years ago.
To be candid, I mean, you can't really compare, because when you talk about the inflation of prices of commodity in the market, compare it, you discover that 5 years ago was far better. And when you look at the way things are going, seriously, it's really uncomparable. The state of the economy now is really it's really at a dilapidated state, seriously. Because if you compare life of last time, we bought rice during 5 years time. I think a bag of rice was sold for barely 13,000, but you can't compare it to what we have on ground now.
The standard of living in the country has fallen seriously. So indeed, you cannot compare the living standard of 5 years ago with the one we are in today.
No, I wouldn't want to blame the government. I do know that the government is largely responsible, but the blame game doesn't change anything.
Government is doing its best, but we urge them to do more, because the beauty of life is the quality of life lived by the citizens of the country. If the quality of life is low, government definitely is to be blamed. Therefore, I urge government to improve on the general welfare of the citizenry of the country.
Yeah, the government has to be blamed now, because most of their policies just not really favoring the common man in the society. And if you look at the way things are being implemented, I mean, the government really has a role to play, and they are not really living up to their obligation. So the government really needs to work on its policy and its implementation, and probably most of those people that are within the government, they really need to put them into check, because most of them are really showing gross incompetency.
Definitely, government has a very role to play. So most of the blames will go to government, because government controls the economy, controls the security, controls the apparatus of everything we have in the societies.
They're in charge of our affair now, so they are the main person to be blamed for this. And they are the only person that can do anything about it. And the hardship now is something else.
Nigeria now is not doing well at all. And the fault is from our government. Why I say the government have the fault is that if you go to the market, everything is high. And they have no any people to send to the market and monitor the marketers to know what is going on in the market.